मैं बस ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਦੂਰ ਫੋਟੋ ਹੀ ਖੰਡੇ
Going on in the world today. I guess the first thing I read was about flying, large drones over people, because most places they restrict you from doing so unless you have some kind of special waiver. And this one here says parachute system for Matrice drones validated at New York test site. Canadian firm Aerial Vehicle Safety Solutions drone parachute system has been validated as compliant to industry standards at the NUAir UAS test site. The testing was conducted in partnership with the Northeast UAS Aerospace Integration Research at Griffiths International Airport in Rome, New York. Aerial Vehicle Safety Solutions parachute recovery system was tested using a DJI Matrice 200 drone. The system automatically deploys a parachute if the drone malfunctions in the air. The parachute recovery system is the third such system validated at site for the DJI Matrice series, advancing the potential for commercial drone package delivery and routine flights over people. Currently, the FAA prohibits most drones from being flown directly over people. Professional drone operators can apply for a waiver from the restriction if they can demonstrate they have robust safety mitigations in place, including a validated parachute system. It makes sense for really large drones carrying huge packages. I mean, imagine like a 10-pound delivery or something like that, basically falling from the sky all of a sudden. I guess in other cases, it doesn't make sense. Like, for example, people flying toy drones, like in general. And especially if it's a controlled situation, like just to say that example with the school having to fill the 200 plus pages of documents to fly beyond line of sight at nighttime and all that. I mean, that's a little overboard. I think this one was a little ironic just because a lot of people would use certain reasons to say they should really restrict the usage of drones, and one of them is, an average person, a recreational person could be spying on people, so we need to regulate it to stop people from doing it, going on your property and all that or something like that. This one says, Chula Vista police get okay to lose sight of drones in low to the ground spots. Chula Vista police now have federal permission to fly drones in low to ground areas where they may lose sight of them. Maybe in the backyard, under tarps, and other blind spots where the suspect may be hiding, but only in emergency situations. Previously, officers were required to keep their eyes on the drone when flying it under 50 feet height. The department announced this week that the Federal Aviation Administration has granted the agency a waiver that allows its police officers to use low-flying drones where they can't see them, as long as the drones have technology that allows them to avoid crashing into obstacles. So in one aspect, again, to me, it's a little strange when you think about it. It's like, we're gonna make these regulations to stop people from flying, near your house to spy on you and all that. Whereas in this case, that's perfectly fine because it's the police and all that. I mean, obviously, if it's for emergencies and stuff, then yeah, why not? But it's just kind of weird again with the narrative and all that. Although that point about the obstacle detection is kind of interesting, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the same department that was using things like FPV drones because they said it was safer and all that. So would an FPV drone not be allowed, in that case? In my opinion, if they were flying something like the Mini and it was an emergency, that should be okay, isn't it? Regardless that it doesn't have things like obstacle sensors. Again, there would be an example of sometimes those regulations and stuff, they don't make sense because they're too, oriented towards traditional manned aircraft. I think this was kind of big for tech-related stuff. This one basically relates to the codec. A lot of people are using things like H.264, Basically, it compresses videos where you could have the same type of high-quality video and a really smaller video file. This one says, Fraunhofer HHI is proud to present the new state-of-the-art in global video coding. H.266 VVC brings video transmission to a new space. After devoting several years to this research and standardization, Fraunhofer HHI, together with partners from industry including Apple, Ericsson, Intel, Huawei, Microsoft, Qualcomm, Sony, is celebrating the release and official adoption of the new global video coding standard, H.266 Versatile Video Coding. This new standard offers improved compression, which reduced data requirements by around 50% of the bitrate relative to previous standard, H.265. As to what this means, it says through a reduction of the data requirements, H.266 VVC makes video transmission in mobile networks where data capacity is limited more efficient. For instance, the previous standard H.265 HEVC requires 10 gigabytes of data to transmit a 90-minute UHD video. With this new technology, only 5 gigabytes of data are required to achieve the same quality. That's a significant bump. So that's kind of good, because I know a lot of people are saying, what, 8K and stuff like that? Oh, the hard drive space. This makes it more into a reality. Although one thing to keep in mind with better compression techniques, usually that means you need things like a more powerful computer and all that. Otherwise, everything will run so slowly. So you won't be able to just instantly use this and then voila. So people need to adapt to it as well in terms of upgrading and all that.
Let's see. What in the world?
Alright, see you guys later.